This is lesson 13-3. We're going to be working with parallelograms and finding the area of them. We're going to start off with this launch problem. Try your hardest. Again, don't spend more than 5 minutes on it.
The 7th grade adds their plan for restoring the school lot. They plan an art center shaped like a parallelogram for displaying student work. What is the area of the art center? Explain.
Parallelograms can be pieced together by squares and right triangles. Reading this will explain it a little bit more for you. Moving on to the part 1 intro, it's going to tell you how you can decompose a shape.
To decompose a shape, break it up to form other shapes. You can decompose a parallelogram to form a rectangle. Suppose you have a parallelogram with base B and height h. To decompose the parallelogram into a rectangle, cut the parallelogram along its height. Move the triangle to the other side. Then push the pieces together to form a rectangle. So you can decompose a parallelogram to form a rectangle with the same base and height as the parallelogram. Find the area of the parallelogram by decomposing the parallelogram into a rectangle.
So this is a parallelogram. The base is 10, the height is 7. It's very important to make sure your height goes straight up, it's perpendicular to your base, and that you don't think that this diagonal line is the height. So over here I've made a parallelogram with a base of 10 and a height of 7. And what we're going to do is decompose this so that it looks like a rectangle. So I'm going to go to my tools, scissors. We want to cut along this line right here. So I now have my right triangle, and I'm going to simply move it from one side to the other. And now I have a rectangle. We then want to find the area. So the base is 10. The height was 7. That never changed. If I move this so that it's on the grid lines, we could count 10 across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we would still count 7 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a little bit taller, but that's just because I think I moved it down and it wasn't exactly on the grid lines to begin with. So I apologize about that. Anyway, if we take that base times height, 10 times 7, we would get the area of 70. It's in inches, so I would label that inches squared. So 70 inches squared for the area.
Find the area of the parallelogram by decomposing the parallelogram into a rectangle.
The correct answer is D, 24 1/6 feet squared. Here's how you get that correct answer. You can pause the video if you need to read through this. It'd be very beneficial to make sure you understand it and to take the time to do so.
A base of a parallelogram is any side of the parallelogram. A height of a parallelogram is the perpendicular distance between opposite bases. The formula for the area of a parallelogram is A equals B times H, where A represents the area, B represents a base, and H is the corresponding height.
So parallelograms have the same area formula as a rectangle.
Which parallelograms have an area of 16 square centimeters?
So what I've done, just like the last ed puzzle, is labeled these A through F. And I want you to tell me first if you think it's 16 centimeters squared or if it's not 16 centimeters squared. And then I will share the answer when you're done. Our base for A is 4. Our height is 3. This number right here on the diagonal is just there to throw you off. So 4 times 3 is 12. This is not 16 centimeters. The base here is 8. The height is 2. 8 times 2 is 16. So it is 16 centimeters squared. Here, the base is 4. The height is 4. This 5 is here to throw you off. So this is a parallelogram that's tilted on the side. I know that because of this little square that they put in to show where the right angle was. So I have to take the line that is on and the dotted line as my two numbers to multiply. 4 times 4 is 16, so the area is 16 centimeters squared. My base times my height, so 6 times 2 2/3. I will write this one out for us. 6 times 2 2/3. The first step that I have to do when multiplying fractions is going to be to make this an improper fraction. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 2. Keep the same denominator. 6 times 8 is 48 over 3. 48, divided by 3. 48 divided by 3 . 3 can go into 4 one time. Three can go into 18 6 times. So my answer for this is 16 centimeters squared. Base times height, 4 times 4, 16. My base times my height, I know that 4 times 4 is 16, so 4 times 3.5 will not be 16. This number right here was there just to throw you off. And here's the last got it problem.
What is the area of the parallelogram?
Correct answer is C, 63 24/100 yards squared. Here's how you get that correct answer. This lesson only has 2 parts to it, so we are completed. Make sure you come to class with any questions for me.